Hey everyone, this is an updates video on Dispo Genius, on kind of what we're working on so far. Right now, the team is just wrapping up this week's sprint. We had a lot of things that we're working on this week. One of the main big ones was an upgrade to our checkout, our SendFlow checkout process, which I'll show in this video. And then also, we've been working on the negative feedback collection system, which I still have to do some more data entry on the model, so it's more accurate. Right now, as far as what I've been testing in my own scenarios, it has been working fine. It's been classifying negative feedback really properly. Obviously, we won't know until we've really used it in the real world. But what I've been testing it with was with real world examples, so we could expect the same results with just, with actually using it in the real world. So that is being developed now. Working on also another thing, which is personalized follow-ups. Because I was thinking, how do we make each, we always continually ask these questions, like, how do we make the buyer experience more and more positive? And the ways we can do that is to sound less robotic, to sound like we actually care, and to not need to use all of these tactics to get responses. To try to sound like, we actually care, and we really want to source some deals that fit their buy box. We really care about helping them make money, which at the end of the day is, as a wholesaler, is what you're trying to do. And your buyers are your customers. You guys, wholesalers, are our customers. But we also, what I've been recently doing, is talking to buyers themselves. Anything that was front-facing to buyers, at least, I would always go to a direct source of information to validate idea, because a wholesaler can say they don't like an idea, but a wholesaler can say they like the idea. If it's a front-facing thing, I would obviously go with the buyer, because the wholesaler can have their opinion. But if it's a front-facing thing that goes to the buyer, I think the buyer's opinion outweighs the wholesaler. So that's what we're kind of doing. Obviously, anything on the admin side, it's going to be with the wholesaler, validating ideas and brainstorming stuff. But what I've been doing recently is also doing talking to the end buyer, meaning the people you're serving, and asking them hey, would you like follow-ups like this? Which one would you respond to? And I'll give them different scenarios, would you respond to one or would you respond to two? And also, there's a little sneak peek on what we've been brainstorming here is actually sourcing your buyer data. And one of the key things to this is, obviously, all this is going to be via the MLS. If we do buyer data, it's actually not an if, it's a when. When we do it, we will make sure that we're sourcing our data through the MLS. We'll probably use a hybrid model through tax, county records and stuff, but county records, when I was wholesaler, I would never trust any software that, would pull county records. So I want to make sure when we do this, that we're sourcing our data all through MLS. And a couple of really cool things on why people are going to choose us over other companies is you're going to be able to click to call through the platform. And we have been the only company that has been able to solve that, especially with a company that's been integrated with Highable. Click to call itself is not a new thing. Click to call is a new thing through applications on high level. And if you click create buyer, it will automatically create that buyer in your CRM. That's actually been the biggest friction point when doing buyer outreach, is what I found. The outreach itself is not hard. The hardest part is actually sourcing the data, cleaning the data, and integrating with your CRM and then calling it. Why don't I just give you all the properties and do all the heavy lifting and eat all the complexities so that you have a really great experience? Because I know if I was a wholesaler, I would use this all day. But that's enough of that. I essentially gave these two examples to some buyers. And I was like, if you got followed up with, would you be more likely to respond to follow-up number 1, or would you be more likely to respond to follow-up number 2? And lo and behold, everyone said 2. Like 2 wholesalers said 1, which they had decently valid points, but it was also the way I presented it wasn't, didn't do the feature justice, because we're essentially in these follow-up messages. If a deal fit a buyer's criteria, we will essentially mention like, hey, this deal fit your criteria, but you didn't respond. So like, for example here, hey Cypher, I'm following up on the 32 and 77088. It seemed to check all your boxes, but I haven't heard from you. Did you have an offer in mind? So we trained our model with plenty of examples, and I plan to add like 100 more examples to train it with, and all these are hand typed. So I make sure all of them like sound good, because I don't want you to sound like AI. So like here it says, hey John, sent you this deal that fits your buy box, but I didn't hear back. Where do you want to go from here? It's like a good enough amount of push and pull to where a buyer will respond, and it's not like you're being a jerk. You're like, hey, I literally sent you something that fits your buy box, but you didn't respond. You're like, where do you want to go from here? And I think buyers will definitely appreciate this. I mean, it's not like I know, because I've already validated this with a couple buyers. They feel like they're a lot more cared for. And a lot of times they're just busy, but like this looks like a bot, but this looks a lot more natural. And it's one of our ideas. We've never seen it done before, and it was another way to make the buyer's experience a lot more personalized. And I think this could dig a lot with your buyers' buy boxes if if you didn't select strict criteria with them, and you're sending a deal that's out of their area. Maybe this could help you strict their criteria if they wanted to. And over time, this will help you get a lot better buy boxes from your buyers, and the goal is to obviously send more deals that fit their buy boxes and to have more accurate data. So this will be free. This, at least for early adopters, this does not cost anything. If you're a non-early adopter, which there is no non-early adopters right now, but if you are an early adopter, this is free. We plan to launch this at like 3 credits per like send flow thing. So like it's not like you're paying like 3 credits per message. It's like 3 credits per buyer in send flow. So if you have 100 buyers that were filtered out or filtered in, and you're gonna send 100, then we'll charge you 3 credits per buyer. So that's like 300 credits. 300 credits is like roughly $3. So it's like fairly cheap for what you're getting out of it. We plan to make it cheaper over time with like tiered pricing and stuff. But we're trying to be like, how can we use AI to like make the most out of every single buyer? Like we want to, continue working to a mission to where like we don't treat buyers as like just numbers in a CRM. Like we're not just like, I have 3,000 buyers. Like that doesn't mean anything. Or like we have over 5 million buyers in our CRM or in our platform. Like that's actually the way I look at it is you're treating essentially human as a number, but this number puts numbers in your bank account, and why not treat them like an actual human and give them a really human experience. Obviously using AI where it's not like even if in the case where a buyer finds that this is AI, which in the rare case it happens, why are you mad? Or if in the case they're mad, it doesn't matter. I think buyers will still appreciate it. There's a lot of AI tools out there that people are getting benefit from, even though they know it's AI. I'd rather talk to an AI that can give me accurate information than a human that can give me 50% accuracy information. So long term, I think it will be a win-win for both wholesalers and buyers. Is like, we want the sentiment for buyers to be like, okay, um, if you use Dispo Genius, I actually am more inclined to work with you than someone who's just using any other platform, because you actually you actually have the tools to create a really great experience for me as a buyer. I'm really bullish on AI. I'm really bullish on Go High Level, and I'm really bullish on the fact that we can possibly change the perception that buyers have nowadays about wholesalers, which is wholesalers just send garbage, which is still at the end of the day, no matter how good our software gets. um, I forgot my train of thought. But at the end of the day, I mean, your job still as a wholesaler is to make sure you're sending out deals that not only fit the criteria of the buyer, of like what I'm asking for, but the other half of it is like make sure you're sending good deals. Like make sure you're providing information on your deals. Like we're not going to help you sell more deals if all of your deals are shit. If your deal's good, we will essentially amplify your reach a lot more, and your buyers will be a lot happier. And you'll get more responses, you'll get more replies, you'll get more feedback from deals, you'll get more offers. And in the result of that, your assignment fees will likely be bigger, and you'll likely close more deals because you will have much happier buyers. Much happier buyers means you have more demand for your deals, and hopefully that gets you off your butt to, now you need more deals. And hopefully, Dispo, hopefully we can help with that. So that is like kind of just some updates. Me and Tyler Unaka yesterday, last night, we went over a couple of scenarios with like double deal situations. Like here, we sent a deal and then like we got another deal. How should that look like? We have a solution in place, but we're thinking of other scenarios where things could happen. And we're very meticulous about everything. And really, at the end of the day, we're like really focused on the buyer experience. So I want to start making more of these videos public, so that, people can see what we're doing here at Dispo Genius. And I'm not scared of competition. I welcome competition. I don't like saying competition because if your goal is aligned with ours, if your mission is also like, hey, help wholesalers, help them sell deals faster, help them keep better buyer relationships at scale, and hopefully they can maximize their profit on each every deal. If your mission is the same, that's great, because our mission is the same, and if we can continue to build better solutions, it'd be great. I'd love to show you how we do it so that you can possibly build a better solution, so that we can also build better solutions, and then we can innovate as an entire industry. So that's why I'm trying to maybe build more publicly, is to show everyone, and because not a lot of people do this. Like everyone like gatekeeps everything, and it doesn't allow for a lot of like really cool innovation. Everyone is kind of just stuck in their own box, and no one talks to customers now, and they just think that their system, quote unquote system, is just the next like big thing. Let the customers decide that, and the customers will choose the best product. So whoever has the best product wins. And to do that, you have to talk to customers, and which we're doing every day. I'm talking at least, I'm pretty much talking to our entire customer base every single day, to get feedback on things. So it's like one big collective, and we're brainstorming all these new features out. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed new updates. Thanks.